So it is Tuesday the 13th of July. We're looking at the sun coming down behind the statue of Mary on Notre-Dame De Bonsecours chapel. I have shifted my position a little bit from previous nights, bringing the statue of Mary closer to the spire of the church on the left, because I'm expecting the sun to come down more to the left. It's heading south, that is to the left. Each day is getting further south. So I just changed my position a little bit. We see the Grand Rue. Right now we're at ISO 64 f11, thousandth of a second on a Nikkor 400mm f5.6 EDIF lens, and I think I'm going to be switching to film soon. I want to film, well maybe not, we'll see. I may stick to digital, but we'll let the video continue a bit here. So, just debating if I should adjust the exposure here. Probably should in terms of the sun. It'll still be a white blob, but maybe not as much of a white blob. So let's bring the exposure down to, yeah, so that's 2,500 of a second. So the sun is still burned out. I mean, what I'm seeing is actually quite bright, but there is a little bit of yellowy orange color to it. There's not a washed out disc as I'm seeing in the video, but that's just unfortunately the way the camera works. Not much I can do about it. Let's see, I want to adjust exposure a bit more. Let's go to 4,000 of a second. Doesn't really make a big difference in terms of the sun or anything else for that matter. So anyhow, the sky is definitely quite a bit darker than that I'm seeing. Clouds, rain, but okay, so here we go. So okay, so something just flew by there. You know what? I think I'm just going to stick to video at the moment. And we'll just let the video record this. I gave some thought to taking some stills, but I already have some stills from previous nights, not to mention previous years. So I think we're just going to let the video continue here. We're just going to let the sun move through here and then set down behind the other spire there. So sticking exclusively to video. We got a little bit of vibration there. Oh, we got a bus coming. It's going to shake a lot. Yeah. So yeah, we get vibration on the bridge from heavy vehicles, buses, trucks. Also get vibration from the wind, but there isn't much wind at the moment. There's a bit of a breeze. It'll probably shake things a little bit, but the biggest vibration is, okay, that's wind. So we see the wind, but the bus really shook things up. And yeah, basically I think tonight's perhaps more for reference than anything else, and also for having an uninterrupted video, because I shot the videos uninterrupted. Well, here comes the air above me, almost directly overhead. Slightly big one too. loop, and it's still heading now So yeah, what I'm getting at is I don't have uninterrupted video of this alignment, so tonight that's what we'll do. We'll have the if weather conditions permit, I have tomorrow and give it another try. But as we can see, in terms of getting the sun going right down behind Mary, I think she has to be off a bit to the left, and eventually she'll merge with the spire on the left there, and essentially it won't that conducive to getting good photos. So I think we did reasonably well tonight. I was a little bit later showing up here because there was a really nice rainbow when I came out of the Parc Jean Drapeau metro station. There's a big complete rainbow with a bit of a double rainbow, and I took a few shots, and then I thought, oh, let's see if I can get this rainbow on the other side of the biosphere, the old US pavilion from Expo 67, and I was able to get some interesting shots of that. And then I thought, oh, let's see if we can get it behind Alexander Calder's Man Friedis, and yes, I was able to do that too. So I basically spent a fair bit of time chasing this rainbow, as it were, and that caused me to get here a little bit, I won't say late, but timed pretty tightly for getting this shot. You know, I was basically just got set up and got that. So that's it. The sun's, excuse me, it's gone behind the church spire. As you can see, I'm a little sleep deprived from all this astrophotography. I'm going to change the exposure here back to okay, there we go. So again, even this is darker than what I'm seeing with the eye. It's very nice though. I should perhaps do a still shot of this. Anyhow, again, what I'm seeing with the eye is basically grayish cloud with a yellowy, orange, goldy trimming, which we pretty close to what I'm seeing in the video. Maybe a bit more yellow. Those clouds that we're looking at are all yellow. Okay, we got an aircraft coming through, and well, maybe it's above. It's just out of the frame above. So anyway, we changed the shutter speed to a 500th of a second on another heron. I have now seen at least 3, and I think 4 herons since I came out of the metro. Oh, and here comes another one. So that's at least 4, and I think 5 herons since I got out of the metro, and 3 within the time span of this video. So they're all moving south. Excuse me. So tonight was exclusively video of this view, and me yammering away here and yawning at that rainbow. A few minutes ago, it was still visible, part of it. I could have flown around and got a shot of the rainbow, but again, I didn't really want to interrupt the video of the sun going down behind Mary for anything, because I don't have that. I don't, or now I do, but I didn't have an uninterrupted video of the sun going down. As you can see, it's getting darker as the sun goes below the horizon. So I'm gonna, right now we're at a 500th at f11 ISO 64. I'm gonna bring it down to that's a 250th, and again, you know, it's still darker and more dramatic than what I'm seeing with the eye. Maybe I should just open up the exposure a bit more just to get it closer to what I'm seeing with the eye, especially now that the sun's out of the picture. So let's bring it down to 125th. And that's, in terms of the clouds, yeah, no, they're actually kind of washed out. You know, it's I'm going to go back up to 200. 200 is sort of a middle of the road exposure. The clouds are a little washed out, the bright parts, the highlights, but not crazy washed out. So the middle tones are okay. Excuse me. So yeah, 202nd f11, ISO 64, which is the base ISO for this camera. I don't think I mentioned I'm using a Nikon D810 DSLR to film this, and the lens is a 400mm f5.6 maximum opening ED glass internal focus lens, Nikkor, old lens in the late 70s, early 80s. But for this type of shot, I actually prefer manual focus lenses, and also relatively compact ones. You know, you don't need a massive 400mm 2.8 for this type of shot. You know, it might even be not as good. It might be too flary. You know, with the lenses with lower maximum apertures, particularly the single focal length lenses, they tend to have fewer elements, so there's less, internal reflection and that kind of thing. The bigger, bright lenses. So it's actually quite nice, dramatic. I think I'm going to take a still shot of this. Still shot worthy. But I think we've got plenty of video. So take some still shots. Probably, I think I'll shoot a bit of film of this, and that'll be that.